Hi guys, this is Maria Guild here. Thanks so much for watching. So today I wanted to share or talk about something I've been learning in the area of personal choice and decision making, and an experience I had recently. I feel like a lot came at me. I learned a lot about it. So it's going to be a little bit hard to really put it in a condensed, bite-sized thought, but I'll try my best. So I struggled a lot with decision making. I mean, it's just by nature, it's hard for me to do. And I also feel like I always had this kind of idea that God or the universe had this very, very narrow, like perfect little plan for your life, and you basically kind of didn't have a lot of control, and you were just supposed to do what God wants you to do. And I feel like that really hindered my personal decision making. And I feel like whenever I had to kind of be a grown up and make a personal decision, it was incredibly hard for me. And I was always trying to, figure out like, well, what's this perfect plan for me, and how can I get there? And I would just go into my head and in this space, and I couldn't just make a decision. And I know it was really frustrating. It was frustrating for my husband. It was frustrating for me because I just felt like it was so hard for me to do that. Anyways, I came across this concept or theory that I love. I love. It's beautiful. It broke it down for me, and it really has helped me to be able to make decisions better. So it's from the book Conversations with God by Neale Donald Walsch. And in the book, God describes a scenario, and he likens it to us with our children. He says, say, for example, you are sending your children out to play in your yard, in your backyard. He's like, it's safe, it's a perfect space for them. There's a fence, it's perfect for them. And my yard is like that. It's beautiful. There's a trampoline, there's a swing. It's a kid yard. So he's like, you send them out there to play. He's like, do you really care if they're playing tag or hide and seek, or they're throwing the ball around? Think about that. Do you really care? I thought about it and I was like, no, I don't really care. He's like, do you have a personal preference in that? No. So he's like, well, that's how I am with you, with, people. He's like, I know, you're in a safe environment. You're here. You have an ultimate destiny, an ultimate purpose. But within these certain perimeters, there's so much freedom of choice. When you send your kids out to play, you're not caring whether they're playing tag or hide and go seek. You just want them to go out there, to have fun, to get exercise, to get along, not to fight, and enjoy themselves and have a great time. So, I mean, you care deeply for your kids, but you don't really care about these little tiny, what they're going to be doing every minute of the day. And I was like, oh my God, that's so true. So I feel like in my own life, in my personal decisions, I feel like God's kind of saying, yeah, you're free to choose. Like, what do you want to do? You have so much freedom. Like, I don't personally care, exactly what you're wearing today, or who you're seeing, or for me, in my case, we were buying a car, and I was getting super in my head about like what the perfect car was, and we had the finances. My husband was like, please just make a decision. It's going to be your car, you're going to be driving it. I just need you to make a decision. But I couldn't even make that decision, and I felt like God had some perfect, like God had a will or an opinion in the matter, and I wasn't able to find it. And I was getting into these very like head spaces where I was like doing things where I was trying to get like signs from God. And I was like, if I see 3 Hondas coming my way as I'm driving, then it means I need to get a Honda. And then it finally got to the point where it's just ridiculous. I was creating so much stress for myself. And then I read that and I felt like it was like everything got so clear. And I realized that God really just wants us to, a lot of times he wants us just to figure out what we want, and he wants that for us, so I feel like now when I'm making a decision, it's so much easier. I just think about, like, well, what do I want? Like, what do I really want? And that's okay. Like, I can choose what I want. And it goes back to that analogy with my kids. Like, I basically want them to be happy, to be fulfilled. And I feel like that's how God is with us. He put us on this earth a beautiful earth. He wants us to live a life of joy, a life of abundance. You know, he wants us to create, to choose our paths, to choose our destiny. Now, there's certain perimeters I feel where, you're within these certain laws, like, if you're not doing anything to hurt somebody or cause pain or whatever. But I feel like within these spaces, we really have so much freedom, to pursue what we want. And I feel like God wants that for us. God wants us to live a life of joy, a life of abundance, to truly enjoy our lives. There's so much beauty in this world. There's so much beauty around us. And I think just like letting go a little bit and understanding that, we can make our own decisions. We can do things. We can even make mistakes. Like, God's okay with that. Like, if your kids are out in the yard, and they make a mistake or they hurt themselves, like, you just want to be there to make them feel better, to make them feel safe, to make them feel protected. And I feel like that's how God is with us. But you're not going to, you're not going to like judge them for a mistake. So it really helped me to take a step back and understand that, that's how my life is too. Like, I'm free to create. I can make mistakes. I can pick myself up. I can do it again. And there's still love. There's still abundance. I'm still highly valued. And I can make my life how I want it to be. And that was just such a freeing concept, and I loved it so much. Anyways, I hope you like that too. I hope that inspired you. If any of these videos are inspirational or just you like them at all, you can go ahead and click like and subscribe. I've never said that, and it's weird to say, but hey. All right, that was all. Have a great day. Bye.